Cindy, a happy little mongrel, is learning to be a friend and an assistant to someone who is deaf. Anzo, over in Holland, is destined for a career with an owner who's disabled. Rowley won an award this year for his work as a guide dog to his master Colin Plummer, who's totally blind. And Lizzie, a big, soft Pyrenean mountain dog, is about to join the massed ranks of the Pat Dog volunteers, who visit the old and the sick. They're all caring dogs, and it's a job in the animal kingdom which dogs suit best of all. Zoologist Trevor Poole.
No, sit down.
The dog can't be dexterous, it can't manipulate things in the ways a chimpanzee could. But on the other hand, it has a lot of things going for it. It has a very keen sense of smell, and it's very agile, and it's got a good vision. There are lots of ways in which it can help us, see for us, smell for us, hear for us even. Pleasing human beings comes relatively natural. Dogs are basically monogamous animals. They live in packs. The younger members of the family have to obey the older members. They also learn to cooperate because being hunting animals, they have to hunt in the pack. And this means they have to agree to commands, that they have to try to please the older members of the pack who are more experienced. So we are in a way lucky that they have accepted us as being a part of their pack structure.
Sadly, it's all too often in man's nature to exploit, and the very least of his unkindness often ends up with unwanted animals in kennels awaiting death, loyal animals carelessly cast aside. Happily, though, these little dogs, rescued dogs more often than not, are dogs with a difference. Because these little dogs are training as hearing dogs for the deaf. In 4 months at the Hearing Dog Centre near Oxford, they'll learn to respond to the doorbell, the kettle, the specially adapted telephone, a crying baby, and to alert their human being with a tap of the paw. A hearing aid, on call 24 hours a day, 365 days a year. The centre has 2 purpose-built small houses to simulate as far as possible the sort of homes the dogs will go to live in. They try to cover every eventuality. There's a range of doorbells, because not everybody has the same sort of doorbells. This house has a solid front door. Its neighbour has a glass front door, so that the dogs can get used to seeing somebody standing outside.
Good girl, Cindy. What is it? Oh, good girl. Good
Andrew
girl.
Cook is one of the trainers working here today.
The first thing we use when the dogs come in is just a squeaky ball.
Girl. There's a good girl. Good girl. Good.
We use this because any dog that's going to be interested in sound is going to be interested in this. And it teaches the dog that it comes towards sound, very much as a game at that stage. And also teaching the dog to touch. It's very important that they touch, because obviously a deaf person can't hear if the dog just barks.
Good girl.
Presumably it's important for you to pretend to be deaf and not look at the dog.
That's right. To start with, obviously, we use eye contact because the dogs find it much more difficult when you start ignoring them. But then as we build it up and they get more advanced, we'll start reading books, looking out of the window and such like.
Good girl. Good.
There's a long waiting list for a hearing dog. They just can't train them fast enough. The ambition is to build extra kennels and increase the output to 40 dogs a year. You need to be tough to send them out. Professional assistance dogs they may be, but very lovable they are too. The centre was founded and is run by Tony Blunt.
As you appreciate, most of them, I think, from rescue centres, or they're unwanted. So they may have had 2 or 3 homes prior to we get them. And here we are, somebody's suddenly taken an interest in them. We're training them, they meet our trainers, they're taught to train very happily, and off they go to a new home. And they are wanted because this person they're looking forward to their dog. It's going to help them.
What is it? What is it? Good girl. What is it?
At the end of the course, the new owner comes to spend a week with the dog at the training centre, getting used to a canine alarm call. Remember, it's only the dog who can hear the alarm clock going off.
Very good.
And the deaf owners must learn to recognise when a dog signals an emergency, too.
Good girl, Frina. What is it? Good girl. Oh, there's a good girl.
Now, that's the smoke alarm going off.
That's right.
Why did Frina lie down?
Now that's because, unlike for all the other sounds where we're wanting the dog to take the deaf person back to the source of the sound, that's exactly what we don't want them to do for this. We don't want them to lead the deaf person anywhere, so if they lie down, that's a sign to the deaf person that it's an emergency, and they can then just take the safest exit. There's a good girl.
Robbie is one of the star graduates of the Hearing Dog organisation. He and his owner, Shirley Cooper, travel the country spreading the word. Shirley went deaf with Meniere's disease some 8 years ago.
Obviously, I was very upset when it first happened, and a few tears. But after a few weeks, I thought, this is silly. I'm not going to get my hearing back, and so I get on with life best way as I can. But Robbie's been a tremendous help to me, and I wouldn't part with him for anything. I do take him everywhere. He comes to the dentist, to the hospital, wherever I go, shopping, out to lunch, to dinner, to the loo. He comes everywhere with me, yes, because I really need him. Robbie is my ears.
It costs around £2,500 to train each of these caring dogs. Not every rescue dog is acceptable. There's a fortnight's testing time before the animal is signed on for the course. If it fails, the organisation finds it a new home somewhere else. But wherever they end up, hearing dogs are guaranteed a real partnership for life. Robbie is also a very good friend to you. Do you want to try it?
Robbie is a very good friend to you.
Friend? Yes, he is. We both love one another very, very much, and I wouldn't part with him for anything. He's a lovely dog. I love him very much.
Wow, very good.
But you don't have to be a lost, homeless or unwanted dog to become a caring dog. In fact, the fastest growing organisation in the country is for dogs who are wanted very much indeed.
Good morning, Pro Dogs. Can I help you?
Pro Dogs, a sort of canine rights society based in Maidstone, launched the PAT scheme 6 years ago. Pro Dogs Active Therapy, PAT for short.
They're pretty particular going into the hospital, so I'll just have a check over her.
Yes,
Come on,
of
Lizzie.
course.
Let's have a look at your teeth, Lizzie.
Now there are more than 4,000 dogs and owners who regularly visit hospitals and old people's homes. Very simple, and according to Leslie Scott Ordish, the founder, very effective.
It's a nice, clean dog. And it's quite interesting because we've identified a whole new area of community workers that wouldn't have dreamed of probably offering themselves for community work, but who do it purely through their love of dogs, their appreciation of dogs, and knowing how they would feel if their dog was taken off them, and what a difference it makes to the patients.
Questa, visiting the St Martin's home with her owner Phyllis, makes for an old friend, Frank. For weeks on end, Questa was allowed to visit at night in an attempt to get Frank off to sleep without tablets, and it did the trick.
He kept on being friendly, and he licked my face sometimes. And I let him, didn't mind that. And then after he'd gone, I used to get a good night's sleep without having a sleeping tablets.
That's marvellous, isn't it?
Yeah.
Some effects are immediate. Jane, who has trouble speaking, suddenly recalled just the right words for a visitor like Questa.
Oh, it's lovely, lovely boy.
Hello.
Any sort or size of dog with the right temperament can do the job.
There you go.
Oh, he's got it.
He's got it too.
Is that too soon?
You'd like to
Gentle, isn't he?
Yes, he is. There
But
we are.
apart from the £10 insurance fee, it takes a real commitment from dog and owner. Margaret Goodwin and Sabre are relied upon for their weekly visits.
Yeah.
Lovely coat he has, doesn't he?
It means so much to them, without sort of being sort of soppy about it, really. I mean, a lot of these people, they don't really see anybody apart from the people who are in the homes. Some of them think they're a bit of a nuisance. They've lost all their possessions, and a lot of them, it's their animals too. And when you go, they really feel they own a part of this dog anyway, you know. And
So gentle with it.
it gives them something really to look forward to. And, well, you know, you've come away, it makes you feel a bit, well, better perhaps, but you appreciate what you've got yourself.
Across the world, many organisations and charities have developed new ways for dogs to help the handicapped. The latest, and as yet to develop fully in Britain, is the scheme to provide assistance dogs for the disabled. Properly trained, these dogs can be truly astonishing. And to see the leading scheme in Europe, we're off now to Nijmegen in Holland.
Watch out for the Triple X brand. Triple X, the extra strong mint from Roundtree's.
Suppose we took identical twins with spots. We washed one daily in ordinary soap and water, and the other in Biactol, which helps prevent spots by unclogging pores and killing bacteria. Spot the difference. Biactol, and new sensitive skin Biactol. It laughs in the face of spots and spanks the bottom of pimples.
You got a big day ahead, but the groom's just got out of bed.
You're not ready?
Oh, my clock stopped. Better get that taste. Get the Maxwell House in your car. Get the Max. It's the best way of waking up. Get the Max. Maxwell House is the way to the taste of today. Now you gotta make tracks. No time to relax.
Hurry up, we'll just make it. Perhaps I should phone. Give her a ring when you get there.
Get the Max.
Regular sensible eating can help you to lose fat and get in shape. There is a breakfast that can help you start the day the right way. The Kellogg's Special K breakfast. With big, crunchy flakes and delicious malty taste. All adds up to around 190 calories. Kellogg's Special K. Get in shape, lose the fat.
To date, science has failed to come up with a better nasal decongestant than xylometazoline. The active ingredient in this nasal spray. Otravine. Why let congestion get up your nose?
Welcome to this special Sun Bingo winners party. And not a page-free girl in sight. So, what's put the smiles on your faces?
We've just won £25,000.
We won 25,000 too.
And they're getting married. You look like a rich man. I am. So far, nearly £20 million has been won on Sun Bingo. Now there's a total of over £1 million more to win on your new card. Sun Bingo, Britain's richest newspaper game, starts this week.
It's an afternoon off for the smartest dogs in Holland. A chance to let your fur down and be a common or garden retriever for a couple of hours. Or at least pretend to be, because these dogs, bought from specially selected kennels in England, are training for jobs as friend, assistant and guardian to the severely disabled in the Netherlands. It's a welcome break from the hours of repetitive training and pounding the pavements of Nijmegen at the toughest dog school of its kind. It all began at the Magriette nursing home, where an experiment to allow pets for patients led to the discovery of the full benefits of animal therapy. The assistance dogs still come here into a hospital every day to learn to use the lift. The dogs are called Sociaal Honden, social hounds, so they've condensed the title to Soho. The Soho dogs, and they've placed nearly 40 now, work for people like Anita Berger. Trained to 96 commands, Krista will fetch and carry, pick things up and hand things over. Although she has some use in her arms, Anita has no grip. And even getting the paper from the letterbox is impossible without the dog.
Krista, look. Get it, Chris. Krista, look. Get it. That's it. Good so. Bring it here. Mine. Give. That's it, please.
Anita was almost completely paralysed in a car accident. She'd lived a sporty life. It really was a tragedy.
It was difficult, but when you want to go further in life, you must go on.
And so, how easy was it to take Krista into your life? Did she make a great change?
Yeah, because I'm more independent now, because Krista can do a lot of things for me. I go shopping by myself with Krista because she helps me.
The Soho Foundation is based in an old school building in Herpen, near Nijmegen, which provides kennels, training centre and accommodation for the disabled when they come for the final stages of the dog's education. It's a real part of the community. People in the town foster puppies, socialising them for a year before the serious training business begins. There are 3 full-time trainers led by Hugo Bardman, who studied the so-called social hounds in America before building on the experience here.
Anzo. Zit.
He's assessing Anzo, a beginner at 14 months.
Roll over. Roll over. Roll over.
Assessing him for basic ability. The dog's grasp of all basic commands must be perfect before the next challenge, getting used to the wheelchair. It can be a frightening device for a dog, and one slip, one mistake can upset an assistance dog for good. As confidence grows, the dog's world is filled with wheels. More unpredictable than feet, a dog must learn to keep well out of their way. Then the exercises start to go together. A simple game now, but possibly a lifesaver in the future for someone in a wheelchair unable to reach something vital on the ground.
DJ, bring it here. Come on, boy. Come on, boy. DJ, bring it here. Yeah, that's it.
Curiously, as these dogs will work in Holland, the training is done in English. Why? The director of Soho is Dr. Jan Lukje.
The Dutch language is a very difficult language for a dog to understand. The English language is short, and as the dogs have to react on the voice of persons, we need short commands with a significant intonation, because persons have to play with the tones. La 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 la. So you have to sing with the dog. You use a dark sound for forbidding the dog something to do, no. And you have to use a high sound for let him stand or sit or up. So you sing him up and you talk him down.
Good girl.
Hugo Bardman is doing this every day. It can be a painfully slow process.
Girl, Tilly. That's it. That's it. That's it. Go through. Go through. Good girl. Tilly. Tilly. Tilly, come on.
So what makes the ideal dog?
The will to please must be there, and a soft dog that wants to work and loves to work. That's very important.
And what makes a good trainer?
What makes a good trainer? You was born as a trainer, from the inside. You must love animals. I think it's very important that you love animals, not special dog, but only animals. That you can work with animals, that you understand them.
That's it. Good boy. It's important that a dog can be a dog. It's no machine. You can't turn it off or on. So it's very important that when the dog has been placed, he can be a dog. He wants to do things for his boss, but that also means that the boss has to do things with and for the dog. So he has to play with the dog, go out for a walk, let the dog be free, run free, because that is his reward for doing things for his boss. So he has to be a dog, he has to be free.
The dog in his new role as constant companion must have the social graces too. Vital for a chair-bound owner that there are no embarrassing accidents, so toilet training for the dog is a must.
Better go now, Dusty.
Good boy.
Dusty, better go now.
Good boy.
And for a dog who will attract attention, good manners are an essential. The caring dog will draw new friends to his owner. That's all part of the job.
Shake hands. Good boy. That's a boy. That's a nice thing.
Press down.
Good boy.
Down.
Down.
DJ, down. Down.
That's a boy.
Good boy.
Good boy.
Heel. No, don't touch.
But whilst the exercises are repeated again and again, the lift, the door, the retrieve, no, not this, but that, good dog, there's a long, long walk every day for each of the 10 dogs in the class.
Come on, DJ. Good boy. Come on. Come on, Lid. Don't touch.
For at least an hour, the dog's attention must not wander an inch.
Come on, DJ. DJ, get your lead.
When it's trained, the dog will be working off the lead, so it must be ready to respond to any word command.
Steady on met de fiets door. Good boy. Come on, Lid. Come on. Jump over.
Jump over.
It's as intensive for the trainers as it is for the animals, but always they both try to have fun.
Dusty, sit. DJ, good hands. Dog must have a good life. When the dog is lying down the whole day and going out 2 times a day for maybe 15 minutes, it's not happy. And our dogs are working 10, 12 hours a day, and then they're all happy.
At the end of the walk, down by the river, the dogs get another test. It looks like playtime. A stick, water, a retriever, a perfect combination. The test is to stop the dog in its tracks with just one word. This is the first time they've tried it with DJ.
DJ, release, release.
DJ, no.
DJ has several months to go yet
That's
in
it.
his training. But he's not doing badly so far, is he?
Boy, release. Boy.
In your dreams, do you think it's possible to teach the dog to do any more for people than is already being done?
Yes, not only in my dreams. But when I start here, maybe 4 or 5 years ago, you start with a program. And when you are training and working with disabled people that have a dog already for 2, 3 years now, then you see some things that you think, hey, it's new, and maybe I can train it and put it in my program. And sometimes it's done already.
So sometimes the dogs learn new things when they
Yes.
go to the disabled people?
Yes. DJ, release.
After a year of puppy training and 6 months at the centre, a dog makes the grade. Soho is a charity, and it's the usual constant battle for funds to provide 20 dogs a year to owners like Anita. At the basic level, the dog provides a helping hand, even ignoring all the tempting cuts of meat in the butcher's shop to deal with the goods and the change instead.
Ja, Christa, no. My left. Get it. Get it. Goed zo. Christa, op. Goed zo. Kom het maar. Goed zo, Christa. That's it. Zit. Kruisham, alles is het nee. Get it, Chris. My left. Good. Goed zo.
The electric wheelchair slips easily into the bank, and Krista is there because her owner just can't grasp her purse to get it through the cashier's window.
Krista, get it. Get it, Krista.
There's no need to ask for help, to sacrifice independence. Krista just does the job instead. Anita needs human help from her parents at bedtime, bath time, and in the mornings. But with the dog, she's able to live her own life to a much greater extent than before. And that is what Soho in Holland is all about.
A very important benefit is that they have a friend who is 24 hours with them, a friend to whom they can tell everything.
How much happiness does a Soho dog bring?
You can't express it in money, but it's a lot of happiness, yes. All of the people, the persons who have a dog now, don't want to lose the dog.
Krista.
In Britain, there are 2 assistance dog schemes. One in the Midlands, which has trained 5 rescue dogs for the disabled. Another in the south, which is being established with help from Soho. With animals for the deaf, the blind, the sick and the physically handicapped, the caring dog is definitely here to stay.